The storm howls louder than reason. Waves crash like war drums. Lightning spill the sky. And there, between the thunder and foam, a silhouette appears. A ship, blackened by age. Tonesail fluttering in defiance of the wind. Gliding not with the current, but against it. It shouldn't exist, but every sailor who's seen it swears it does. They call it the Flying Dutchman, a cursed vessel doomed to roam the seas for eternity, never reaching shore, forever chasing redemption in the fog. For centuries, mariners feared it as a bad omen. Even now, its legend stirs in knees and hearts that listen too closely to the sea. Modern audiences know it as Davy Jones' Gull ship in Pirates of the Caribbean, a towering vessel of tentacles and doom. It inspired operas, video games, paintings, and ghost stories whispered at midnight. But long before it hit the silver screen, this gull ship haunted the real-life high seas, and those who dared sail near the Cape of Storms. The year was 1641, and the seas around the Cape of Good Hope were anything forgiving. The winds here didn't whisper, they screamed. It was the ragged edge of the known world, a place sailors feared, and maps cold curls. Commanding one of the Dutch's India Company merchant ships was Captain Hendrik van der Decken, a man both ambitious and relentless. His mission to return to Amsterdam after securing trade in the East Indies, and to find a way to establish a permanent stop along the route, one that could give a Dutch naval power a new edge over rival empires. But fate had other plans. As his ship approached the Cape, a violent storm erupted, blocking the path home. Waves, the sign of cathedral, pattered the hull. Crew members begged to turn back, but Van der Decken, either out of pride, madness, or something darker, refused. He is said to have cursed the heavens, swore he would round the Cape even if it took until Judgment Day, and drew his word against any man who disobeyed him. Some say he even made a pact, whether with the devil or something deeper false. No one knows. But the sea answered. The winds grew colder. The clouds opened like a mouth. Lightning struck the mast, igniting a ghostly flame, and then silence. When the storm cleared, the ship was gone. From that moment, the Flying Dutchman became more than a ship. It became a warning, doomed to sail forever, never able to reach a port. Van der Decken and his crew were cursed, plankton condemned to wander the seas, appearing only in lightning storms and vanishing before dawn. Thus began the legend, not with the cannon fire or conquest, but with defiance, madness, and a captain who refused to bow even to God himself. For centuries, the Flying Dutchman wasn't just legend, it was seen. One of the most astonishing reports came from Prince Joe of Wales, later King Joe V. In 1881, aboard HMS Fortune, the young prince and 13 crew members spotted a strange ship glowing crimson red on the horizon of the Australia coast. The sails were tattered, the rigging shredded. It sailed directly toward them, only to vanish without a sound. Hours later, the seamen who first spotted the phantom ship fell from the mast and died. Coincidence or curse? Then came 1939 near the South African coast. Dozens of people on the beach saw a ship appear suddenly through the mist, its hull rotting, sail ripped, glowing faintly as if on fire. As they watched, the vessel faded and disappeared. In 1942, 4 separate witnesses in Cape Town reported seeing a ship sailing full speed into the wind. There were no naval drills, no ship locked in the area. What they described matched the Dutchman exactly, down to its ghostly crew, visible through spyglass, hollow-eyed, pale, unmoving. Mariners and sailors across time speak of the same thing. A vessel seen before shipwrecks, before typhoons, before unexplained death at sea. Its appearance is a bad omen, a warning, a glimpse at what awaits those who define the sea of fate. Glowing red, sailing against the wind, and always, always disappearing just before you can prove it was there. So, was it hallucination, atmospheric tricks, or something older, watching from behind the veil of waves? The legend of the Flying Dutchman doesn't stop at sighting. It lives in the strange sounds and shadows that cling to the sea like fog. Sailors speak of nights when the wind is dead, the ocean flat, and yet on the horizon a ship appears, not from port, but from another world. As it drifts closer, the air turns cold, and wails rise from the deep. Not human cries, but something worse, mourning, screaming, tortured choir of a damned crew. Those who look through telescopes or binoculars swear they saw a captain on the desk, rigid, pale, his eyes glowing blood red, unmoved by storm or silence. And when ships follow that ghostly path, they often find themselves pulled toward rocky shores, caught in storms that wasn't on the charts, or worse, wrecked before help can arrive. The Dutchman doesn't just haunt, it guides us, and not towards salvation. Some believe Vander the kinship is possessed, animated by a force of vengeance, dragging others into his internal misery. Others see it as a punishment, a reminder that prying before nature always ends its ruin. In nautical folklore, ghost ships are omens, warnings, see one, and doom follows. But the Flying Dutchman is no ordinary ghost. It chooses when it appears, and is always leave witnesses with more fear than answers. Is it cursed wood and windplow hallucination? Or it is something waiting beneath the surface to remind us that the sea never forgets. Not every sailor believes in curses and ghost ships. For some, the Flying Dutchman isn't a vessel of the damned, a streak of the light, a natural phenomenon with an otherworldly disguise. Enter the Fata Morgana. This rare atmospheric illusion occurs when layers of hot and cold air over the sea create a temperature inversion. Light bends sharply across these layers, reflecting in a way that causes distant ships, icebergs, or coastline in appear lift, strange, glowing, or floating above the horizon. Seen from afar, a real ship on the water could look like it levitating, with a shimmering sails and blurred outlines. To a sailor in 7th century, without radar or understanding of light physics, it would seem like a phantom vessel appearing from now here, gliding silently across the ocean. Modern scientists suggest that many ghost ship sightings, including the Dutchman, may have stemmed from these illusions. The eerie glow, atmospheric distortion, the vanishing. The ship simply sails out of the reflect layer. But here where the logic begins to fray. Fata Morgana explains some things, but not the screams. The pointing captain, the ship that sails against the wind, or the death that often follows. It doesn't explain the consistency of the legend across controls and centuries, or why even trained naval officers have reported what they saw. So which is it? Is science uncovering truth or covering mystery? Is the Flying Dutchman just a mirage of physics? Or is that explanation a sail path of deeper fog, shielding us from something the sea knows, but we're not ready to face? Ghost ships may vanish in the mist, but the Flying Dutchman never disappeared. Instead, it sailed straight into the heart of our control, reappearing across centuries in art, music, literature, and film. In 1795, the first written mention appeared in Vulture 2.97 by Joe Burrington, painting the Dutchman as a foreboding spirit of the sea. But it was Richard Wagner's 1843 opera, Joe Vigenda Hollander, that cemented the myth in high art. Wagner reimagined the tale as one of eternal longing and doomed love, a cursed captain seeking redemption through a woman's sacrifice. From classical stages to modern screens, the Dutchman never lost its ghostly grip. In Disney Pirates of Caribbean, the Flying Dutchman sails again, commanded by Tentacle Davy Jones. ferrying souls of the dawn and feared even by the dead, with cracking desk and glowing hull, it became a cinematic symbol of terror and strategy. Then there the absurd sign. In SpongeBob SquarePants, the Flying Dutchman is reimagined as a green ghost pirate with a soft spot for speckles and springs. Somehow, even these parody arts to the ship legend prove that the myth live in the both the sublime and the silly. So, why has this tale endured? Because the Dutchman isn't just a ship. It's what we fear, eternity, regret, and storms we cannot escape. And it was we wonder what happens when the sea keeps a soul and refuses to let go. Gods may fade, but stories, they're strong. They sail forever. The Flying Dutchman drift between two worlds, one of the salt and wind, the other of fog and fear. Some say it's an optical illusion, a mirage bent by sunlight and atmosphere. Others swear it's a god ship cursed to haunt eternity, a spectral reminder of pride, punishment, and storm we cannot outrun. The truth may never be fully known, but perhaps that's the point. The Dutchman doesn't live because it's been proven. It lives because it stirs something deep within us. A fear of the unknown, a fascination with the eternal, and a curiosity about what lies just beyond the veil of what we can see. So next time you find yourself near the sea and the clouds begin to churn, listen closely. You might just hear the sorrowful song of a cursed captain, still searching for redemption that will never come. Heard of the Flying Dutchman before? Share your favorite version of the legend in the comments. Subscribe for more ghost stories, dark myths, and strange sea legends. Turn on the notification so you don't miss the next deep dive into the unknown. Set sail with us again soon. Next stop, the Bermuda Triangle.